Aaron, how do you build off the second half the other night?
Well, we just got to remember what we did in that second half. Execution was good. Details were good. We had like 9 MAs, I think, in the first half and 3 or 4 in the second half. So we used to always say anything under 10 is a good game. You have 70 plays, 60 plays in the game. You'd like to be in the single digits in MAs. We were almost double digits in the first half. So it starts with the mental part of it. You got to be prepared. Got to be ready for all the different little looks we're going to get, little checks and adjustments. Second half, we handled that a lot better.
Was that the best you've felt since you've been here, that second half?
Probably best I've played, but
That's what I meant.
yeah, okay, yeah. Thanks, Rich. Yeah, and I felt good. I felt good about my play. Obviously, couldn't go anywhere but up in the second half, but yeah, that's when we're all on the same page, which we were so many times. I've been saying that same thing almost every single week. What's the issue? It's like, well, 10 guys are on the same page and 1 guy isn't. Second half of that game, we had a lot of guys on the same page the entire time.
Why is this going to be different than last time we won on a Thursday and then lost 5 straight?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, the season goes on. Every challenge is different. This is a long road trip to a division leader, so we don't need any extra motivation. We know what we're playing for.
Rick said you were going to be a full participant today. I thought it was before practice. Assuming you were. Is this the healthiest you've felt since maybe before Denver?
Yeah, it is. Feels good. Feels real good. It's been a long stretch, but yeah, and I worked a lot with Dave in the training room. He's a fantastic guy to work with. He's been helping me out. Do a lot of stuff on my own, but feels good to be able to practice on a Wednesday. I love to practice. This was obviously, we're a little banged up at a lot of positions, so it's kind of a disjointed, shorter as far as reps, but a lot of walkthrough stuff, but it's good to be out there.
With some of the issues at guard right now with the injuries, do you have to be even more vocal or take even more control with some protection adjustments, or can you help those guys at all?
Well, I think the onus is really on Tip and the tackles. I mean, I can handle what I can handle, but those guys got to communicate the call between each other. It's nice that they're next to a veteran guy on both sides. I'm calling Joe a veteran. He's played all the snaps for us. But, the challenge is Olu, he hadn't played a snap of guard his entire career at any level. And Max has really just worked to tackle most of the training camp. So hopefully, we'll see what the status is of ABT and John. But we feel real good about the way that those guys played in the second half.
Aaron, with Mike on, Malachi obviously will take on a bigger role. What's your level of confidence in him taking more reps?
I mean, I think he's done a nice job the last couple of weeks. He's earned some reps where he was a healthy scratch, I believe, for a couple games, and he's earned the right to be back on the field. Any young player, the quickest way to being on the field is special teams. So the more that I think he takes ownership of those special teams reps, and the more his role increases on special teams, the more he's going to have opportunities in the offensive snaps as well. I'd love to see Irv get a chance too. Irv does so much for us. He's a super unselfish guy, an absolute menace on special teams. But he had a nice training camp at receiver. So I'd love to see him get some opportunities as well.
How dangerous, when Devontae and Garrett are clicking with you like they were in the second half, how dangerous can this passing offense be?
Well, it starts with protection, so we got to be able to protect it up. But once we do that, teams got to figure out what they want to do. It's hard to double both guys, but if you do, that's opportunities for everybody else in the middle or on the outside. So we need our tight ends to step up. We need our young receivers to step up. We've obviously used both our backs and some of that personnel with them on the field at the same time. So we'll keep mixing things up with that. But yeah, I mean, those guys are both dynamic players, and it's pick your poison.
Aaron, getting everybody on the same page. Now that has happened, do you feel like it's a click, or is it a linear process, or can we expect regressions throughout, and progressions moving forward?
Expect regressions? I never expect regressions. But this league is anything but linear. The only thing linear about it is that it keeps going. It doesn't wait for you. When you're done, it doesn't stop for you. So we got to just build out the momentum. If you want to be a great team, you got to practice like a great team. And I think the last few weeks we've practiced a lot better. But there's still a standard that we just need to come up an extra notch. And when we do that, which I'm confident we will, then the consistency, I think, shows up on game day. But you don't just roll out of bed. That's a misnomer. You don't just roll out of bed and play freaking great. You got to practice the right way. And it helps that I'm out there. I think, today and this week, and hopefully that gets us practicing the right way. So we play, 60 minutes of it
What did you
the
like?
right way.
What did you like about today's practice?
I didn't like it, actually. I want more reps, but I understand. This is the way it is. We got a lot of guys banged up. So if I'm out there, I like practicing to practice. But it is what it is at this point. We're in week 10. A lot of guys are banged up, so we only had a few kind of live reps. But we got to make the most of the walkthrough reps. So challenge them every single play with signals, with adjustments, with little reminders, and get those guys stimulated so they're dialed in on those walkthrough reps. No throwaway reps.
On his great touchdown catch, Garrett Wilson said he was just grateful that you had confidence in him to put the ball.
Which one?
The second.
Yeah, they're both good.
Yeah, is that the type of play that you expect when you throw it up for him, that he can bring it in like that?
Well, I mean, I don't expect a lot. Expecting, it's like assuming. Yeah, you definitely hope for that. I mean, you speak things into existence, but at some point you got to trust the player to go out and make a play. You don't expect it to be a jump man highlight catch every single time, but store that one away in the old memory bank for sure.
Aaron, you seem about as upbeat right now as we've probably seen you in this moment. The locker room around you kind of seems like they're in a
Man, I just had 2 plays in the bar on the bench. I was wrapping some stuff out, so yeah, I'm feeling good.
Is this the most relaxed?
I feel like a jackrabbit, man. I got all this energy.
Is this the most relaxed that you think this team, in a constructive way, the most relaxed and at ease you guys have been maybe this year, that a weight's kind of been lifted off after that second half?
Well, I mean, I think there was a weight lifted off, but there's a baseline level of kind of energy and enthusiasm that we kind of held ourselves to in training camp, and we haven't necessarily been there the entire time. So we got to find a way to bring it every single day. The key for young players to learn is that consistency starts with the minute you walk into the building, and everything you do needs to be intentional. And that starts with the conversation you're having, the time you get to work, the way you take notes, and we're starting to do some of the right things, but we're a work in progress still.